Hey, what's up guys, this is KD Cloudy and I usually don't make like rumor roundup videos or like pre-release content, but these MacBook rumors, these Apple Silicon MacBook rumors, they are so interesting that we gotta talk about it. Now we've had the first wave of Apple Silicon based Macs, particularly with the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro, the 13-inch one. And those are great, they're very good value for money, but they do have some limitations which make them sort of unsuitable for pros, particularly only maxing out at 16 GB of RAM and not having enough ports. But they're pretty much good as entry level products and as a glimpse of what's to come in the future roadmap of Apple Silicon. And as we move into 2021, that roadmap is sort of getting closer and closer. So Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo and Mark Gurman from Bloomberg, both of them kind of released the same type of report simultaneously, saying the same thing, and which basically means that all of the things I say in this video are pretty much legit and we can expect them to happen. And according to them, we'll have basically two types of MacBook Pros this year, one 14-inch one and of course one 16-inch one. Both of these models will be Apple Silicon based Macs only. There will be no Intel based counterparts for them, and I'm guessing that the 14-inch model will replace the higher end 13-inch model with 4 Thunderbolt ports, and that will form the entire MacBook lineup, and that's going to be pretty interesting. So let's start with the meat of it, the Apple Silicon chip itself. And it's rumored that it's going to have like an M1X chip. The name is not confirmed, but it's not going to be like an M2 chip. It's not going to skip a generation, but it's going to sidestep and add a few things to the already very good M1 chip. They'll probably have support for memory beyond 16 GB and will support enough IO bandwidth internally to support like 4 or more Thunderbolt ports. But the most interesting part of this conversation isn't even the chip, because I mean, with the M1 MacBook Air and the M1 MacBook Pro, we've basically had the same design of the MacBook lineup since like 2016. So this year with the 14-inch and the 16-inch MacBook Pro, we are expected to have some design refresh and some radical new changes, which are pretty mind-blowing. So first is the return of MagSafe. And that sounds amazing. And the MagSafe is the classic old MagSafe from the 2015 MacBook. And MagSafe was first announced in the first ever Intel MacBook Pro. So it kind of just feels full circle.
So another really cool feature. We call this new feature MagSafe. The MagSafe connector is a new power adapter that we've got with a new connector that's magnetically held in. And when the cord gets yanked, it just pulls right off. It works beautifully.
And it's not yet confirmed whether it has any relation to the iPhone 12 MagSafe thing. So I'm guessing that it's going to be that classic old MagSafe with a connector and everything. So that kind of leaves out a free USB-C port, which can be used for now, whatever. But the interesting thing to see is that Apple is finally coming back to their senses in terms of their ports. And the implications of bringing back MagSafe aren't quite clear. Will they make more money through like custom accessories? Who knows? Will they ditch a few USB-C ports? I really hope not. Will they bring back USB Type A? Will they bring back SD card or HDMI or something else? That still remains to be seen. But for now, what we need to know, what Kuo and Gurman have been saying, is that MagSafe is set to return with the 2021 MacBooks. So alright, let's move on to the next thing, which is the display. Now, like I said, it's going to be a 14-inch display and a 16-inch display on both of the models respectively. And the 14 one seems to be like a stand-in for the higher end 13-inch MacBook Pro. So I'm guessing that they'll probably just increase the footprint a little bit and trim out the bezels. But what's more important is that they're going to shift away from LCD to mini LED displays. Now I promise I'll be making a full-blown explainer on what mini LED displays are. But for now, what you need to know is that mini LED displays use smaller size LEDs which make up the entire backlight, and it makes room for more local dimming zones. And what local dimming zones do is that they let you dim individual parts and certain sections of the display, which achieves higher contrast ratios, which means blacks will be deeper no more LED backlight bleeding. So yeah, that's going to be very interesting to see Apple switching from like years and years of shipping LED displays and switching to a totally new display technology. And I'm really pumped to see how that works out. Also, it's said to be that it's going to have like a higher peak brightness, brighter displays. So I'm guessing that'll be better for HDR performance, and I'm a geek for HDR performance, so that's going to be good as well. By the way, speaking of OLED, there is also a little amount of OLED pretty much present in all MacBook Pros, and that is of course in the form of the touch bar. And Mark Gurman says that the touch bar is gonna go away. Apple is gonna kill the touch bar, and the upcoming MacBook Pros will not have them, and instead will ship with the regular row of function keys. I'm not really sure how to feel about that, because I kind of like the touch bar, and this move sort of feels like a downgrade, like a step back. Doing that, like I said, it'll mean that Apple made a mistake like they did with the Magic Keyboard. And I'll be really interested to see what sort of a justification or explanation do they give for ditching and removing the touch bar on their highest end MacBook Pros while the $1299 MacBook Pro has it. Or will they remove it from that as well? I don't know. That's something we'll have to wait and watch. So we talked about the chip, we talked about the display, the MagSafe, and the lack of touch bar. And I guess that's basically it. Also, the report mentions that the design on the upcoming MacBook Pros will be more squared off like the iPhone 12s. I don't know. I'm not really sure how to kind of interpret that whole flat design thing. But again, should be interesting to see. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, if you think I should make more Room Around Up videos, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you like this video, do subscribe for more amazing content. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.